70% of lottery winners are broke again within 5 years. That statistic gets passed around as a warning about financial literacy, but it misses the point entirely. The real story is about a law of physics operating on our lives, a force that pulls outlier events back to a predetermined baseline. And chances are, this same force is quietly governing the ceiling on your own success. Every time you get a windfall, a promotion, or a lucky break, you're fighting against this invisible gravity. It pulls on your bank account, your relationships, and your health. The fight feels like a matter of discipline or effort. The truth is much more mechanical. The outcome was decided before you even started. Because your outer world is bound by a contract, an unbreakable agreement with your inner self-concept, and that contract has a termination clause. Any reality that outperforms your deep-seated identity for too long gets cancelled. It returns to the factory settings. The question is, who set them? And how do you access the control panel? Think about a thermostat in a room. You set it to 70 degrees. If a window blows open on a winter day, the temperature might plummet to 60. The thermostat detects the discrepancy. It clicks on. The furnace burns until the room is back to 70. If a summer heat wave pushes the temperature to 80, the air conditioner engages, pulling the heat out of the air until the room is once again 70 degrees. The thermostat has one job: maintain congruence with its setting. It works tirelessly to make the room's reality match its internal instruction. Your self-concept is that thermostat. Your identity, that deep, quiet sense of who you are and what is normal for you, is the set temperature. The number in your bank account is the current room temperature. If you have an internal setting that says, "I'm a person who scrapes by," and you suddenly win $50,000, the room temperature shoots up. It feels great for a moment, but the thermostat of your identity registers a massive error, an incongruence. The system kicks in. It begins working immediately to correct the situation. This correction shows up as bad investments, sudden emergency expenses, gifts to friends you can't afford. Your subconscious mind will orchestrate reality to burn off that excess cash until the bank account returns to its familiar, normal state of scraping by. The system is back in equilibrium. The thermostat is satisfied. This explains why a person who grows up in scarcity can feel a deep physical anxiety when they have a surplus of money. Their system is screaming that something is wrong. This isn't just about money, it's about everything. Your romantic life has a thermostat setting. If your self-concept is set to, "I am the kind of person who gets abandoned," you will subconsciously seek out partners who are emotionally unavailable. You will misinterpret kindness as a trick. You will sabotage good relationships to return the room to its familiar, 70-degree setting of being left. A person with this setting who finds themselves in a stable, loving partnership feels a constant, low-grade hum of anxiety. It feels unsafe. It feels too good to be true. Their system will find a way to break it, to prove its core belief correct, and return to the painful comfort of its baseline. The "I told you so" is the sound of the thermostat clicking off. Its job done. But this mechanism isn't a life sentence. It's a tool, a powerful one, if you understand how to use it. The key is realizing you've been trying to change the room when you should have been changing the thermostat. This ancient principle is called the law of correspondence. As within, so without. It's a core tenet of Hermetic philosophy, but you can strip away all the mysticism and see it for what it is. It's a statement about systems. The universe operates on nested patterns. The structure of an atom mirrors the structure of a solar system. The veins in a leaf branch out like a river delta. The patterns repeat at every scale. As above, so below. This same law states that your conscious, thinking mind is the above, and your physical reality is the below. Your inner world of beliefs, assumptions, and identity is the blueprint. Your outer world of health, wealth, and relationships is the building constructed from that blueprint. You can't build a skyscraper from the blueprint for a shed. You can try. You can work 16-hour days, stacking materials meant for a shed. You can hustle and grind, and for a short time, you might get a few stories high. But the foundation is wrong. The structural integrity is based on the assumption of a shed. Eventually, the whole thing collapses under its own weight, settling back into the shape of a shed. Your effort was wasted. You were trying to outperform the blueprint. Reality doesn't allow that for long. It snaps back, every time. This isn't a cruel joke, it's a feature for stability. Imagine if your reality could be permanently altered by any stray thought or passing mood. It would be chaos. The system requires a stable blueprint to build from. Your self-concept is that stable blueprint. So how is this blueprint created? It's the sum total of your lived experience, your memories and the stories you tell yourself about them. But more than anything, it's built from evidence. Your subconscious mind is a relentless scientist. It observes your actions and draws conclusions about who you are. Every time you say you'll wake up early to work out and then you hit the snooze button, you are casting a vote. You are providing a piece of evidence. The vote is for the identity of I am someone who doesn't follow through. Do this enough, and it becomes the set point on your thermostat. Then, when a huge opportunity comes along that requires discipline, your system will subtly sabotage you. It's protecting the integrity of its proven identity. Your actions have written a program that says, "This is who we are." The system is just running the code. The critic might say this all sounds like victim blaming. People in poverty don't choose to be poor. Someone in an abusive relationship isn't choosing that pain. This is a crucial distinction. The thermostat setting is almost never a conscious choice. It's installed by childhood, by trauma, by society, by repeated experiences that provide overwhelming evidence for a certain identity. The initial setting is programmed into you. But as an adult, you are the only one with access to the control panel. The system feels automatic. It feels like the way things are. That feeling of immutability is the single greatest trick the mind plays on itself. You are trying to fight a ghost. You're trying to outwill a system that has more processing power than your conscious mind ever will. You will lose that fight 100% of the time. The solution is to stop fighting the system and start reprogramming it. You reprogram the thermostat the same way it was programmed in the first place. With evidence, you can't use affirmations alone. Standing in the mirror saying, "I am wealthy," when your bank account is empty and your thermostat is set to scarcity, creates cognitive dissonance. The system registers a huge error and works even harder to prove the affirmation wrong, to bring you back to its version of reality. Your subconscious doesn't listen to what you say, it watches what you do. The only way to change the setting is to start casting new votes, tiny ones, deliberately. If your identity is "I'm not a healthy person," don't try to run a marathon tomorrow. That's like opening the window in a blizzard and expecting the thermostat to just give up. It will fight you. Instead, put on your running shoes and walk to the end of the driveway. That's it. You just cast a small vote for the identity of "I am someone who is active." The next day, walk around the block. Another vote. These are pieces of evidence so small that they fly under the radar of the thermostat's resistance. They don't trigger the emergency correction system, but they are recorded. They are logged. You are feeding the system new data. You are proving to it, through action, that a new identity is emerging. Over time, the weight of the new evidence begins to shift the average. The thermostat set point begins to recalibrate. It nudges from 70 degrees to 71. Suddenly, missing a walk feels slightly off. The system now works to get you back to its new baseline of being active. Your identity is shifting. The blueprint is being redrawn. And once the blueprint changes, the outer world has no choice but to conform. The right opportunities start appearing. You magically meet people who are also into fitness. The universe rearranges itself to match your new inner structure. This is the meaning of "as within, so without." It's not a wish, it's a description of a mechanism. The outer reality is a lagging indicator of your inner identity. Think back to the lottery winner. Their thermostat was set to broke. They got a massive 80-degree heat wave of cash. The system went into overdrive to cool the room down. It used every tool it had. Bad advice, reckless spending, forgotten taxes, to restore equilibrium. Now, imagine a different person, an entrepreneur who has spent a decade building businesses. They've failed. They've succeeded. Their thermostat has been slowly recalibrated through thousands of actions, thousands of votes, to a set point of "I am a person who manages millions of dollars effectively." If that person loses everything in a market crash, their room temperature plummets, but their thermostat set to millions kicks in. It works tirelessly to get them back to their baseline. They find new investors, they spot new opportunities. Within a few years, they're back on top. We call this resilience. It is, but it's the resilience of a homeostatic system returning to its programmed state. The most uncomfortable truth is that we are all addicted to the person we currently are. The known misery of our current setting feels safer than the unknown possibility of a new one. Your comfort zone is the temperature your thermostat is set to. The resistance you feel when trying to change isn't a sign you should stop. It's the hum of the machine telling you it's working to maintain the old program. Your job is to ignore the noise and keep casting new votes. Keep providing new evidence, patiently, persistently, until the system accepts the new data as the new normal. The people who make lasting changes in their lives are the ones who understand this. They stop trying to achieve goals. Instead, they focus on building an identity. They ask, who is the type of person who has the reality I want? And then they start taking the small daily actions that person would take. They vote, they gather evidence, they slowly, deliberately turn up the dial on their internal thermostat. They do this knowing that once the inner setting is changed, the outer world must by law follow. It has no other choice. Reality is a mirror. It can only reflect the face you show it,